Wealth, risk, and the allure of high stakes. The world of gambling knows no bounds, not even among the stars. Meet 7 celebrities who weren't just acting on screen but were placing their bets off screen too, navigating the risky waters of casinos with the same intensity they brought to their performances. Each carried a tale of fortunes won and lost, but behind their glamorous appearances on red carpets, they grappled with odds that even their fame couldn't tilt. Gladys Knight. Born in Atlanta, a city once bustling with both legal and extra-legal activity, Knight's career truly blossomed after she relocated to the grand casino town of Detroit, Michigan, a state that remains at the forefront of legal gambling in America to this day. Perhaps it was the shared emphasis on living the high life in these two cities, or perhaps it was simply fate, but when a fellow musician introduced her to blackjack, it was love at first sight. As she later penned in her 1997 autobiography, the allure of gambling slowly took hold. Amidst the wild times of life on the road, the casino became a kind of sanctuary for Knight. She said, "The pit bosses and dealers became my family. I felt protected. I played behind red velvet ropes that shielded me from autograph seekers, thieves, and scam artists. They brought food and drinks right to me at no charge." Certainly not every player is fortunate enough to receive such VIP treatment. Nevertheless, before she knew it, Knight found herself spending an increasing amount of time and money at the casino tables, particularly favoring blackjack and baccarat. For many gamblers who find themselves in over their heads, whether celebrities or not, it's typically the loss of money that prompts the realization that a change of course is necessary. But for Knight, it wasn't the monetary loss that was most significant. Rather, it was the time she was sacrificing, time that should have been spent fulfilling her role as a mother. One fateful morning in the 1980s, she awoke late after a marathon of drinking and gambling, only to realize she had neglected to take her son to school. That incident, combined with 2 separate nights where she suffered substantial losses at the tables, $45,000 and $60,000 respectively, served as a wake-up call. It was then that Knight decided to seek help. She began attending Gamblers Anonymous meetings, ultimately managing to break free from the grip of addiction without causing further harm to her family or her finances. Colonel Tom Parker. Born in the Netherlands, Parker's entry into the United States was shrouded in intrigue. He arrived illegally at the age of 20. Determined to forge a new identity, he assumed a new name and fabricated a tale of being a native-born American. Transitioning from his early days in carnivals, Parker pivoted to the realm of music promotion in 1938 and swiftly made his mark by collaborating with notable figures such as Gene Austin, one of the pioneering crooners of his time, as well as renowned country music artists like Eddie Arnold, Hank Snow, and Tommy Sands. After his demise, many Parker biographers, including Dirk Vellenga and Alana Nash, have detailed how Parker's gambling habits spiraled out of control during the mid-1960s. As his wife's health deteriorated and Elvis Presley's career faced challenges, Parker sought solace in the glitzy casinos of Las Vegas. It's widely believed by fans and historians alike that one of the primary motivations behind Parker signing Presley to a Vegas hotel in 1969 for his live comeback was to offset losses accrued at the casinos. Parker would often immerse himself in gambling for 12 to 14 hours at a stretch, wagering significant sums of money. It's estimated that Parker lost at least $1 million annually through his gambling endeavors. By the time of Presley's tragic passing in 1977, it was speculated that Parker owed the Las Vegas Hilton over $30 million in gambling debts, a staggering amount equivalent to over $150 million in today's currency. Despite a lifetime of earning well over $100 million, Parker's estate was worth barely $1 million upon his demise. But apart from his gambling problem, Parker was also described as a strange man by all those who came across him. Eddie Murphy shared a revealing anecdote in 1989 about his encounter with Colonel Tom Parker in Vegas. He said, "Colonel Tom Parker rubbed my head in Vegas. A couple of times he set me up in the Elvis Presley suite on top of the Hilton, and I would go play Elvis for a week. One night we were at the crap table together and he rubbed my head for luck. I wanted to punch him in the face, but this guy is like 80 years old, too old to be taught the limits of racism. He probably doesn't realize how horrible a thing that was to do." Walter Matthau, the sports gambler. He carved his name into the annals of Hollywood history as both an American actor and comedian, with a career spanning decades before he graced the silver screen. Before dazzling audiences as a popular and award-winning stage actor, he made his transition to the big screen with a debut in Keon, catapulting him into the spotlight. Roles in hit movies like King Creole, Ride a Crooked Trail, A Face in the Crowd, and Charade followed, marking his early films with massive success. But beyond all of these shiny feathers to his hat, this actor harbored a lesser-known passion, gambling, but with a little twist. Unlike many of his peers drawn to the allure of Las Vegas, his preferences leaned towards sporting events, especially basketball and horse racing. Though not particularly thrilled about the casino atmosphere, he found it hard to resist the magnetic pull of a craps table. However, his relationship with gambling went beyond mere entertainment. There was something twisted and unusual that he enjoyed about it. Something that is hard to understand for most people, and is considered absurd. You see, while most gamblers seek the thrill of winning, Walter found excitement and enjoyment in losing. His peculiar approach revealed a subconscious desire to shed not only his winnings, but also everything he owned. This addiction came to light during a stint in Florida while filming episodes of the TV series Tallahassee 7000, where he astonishingly managed to lose a staggering $83,000 in just 2 weeks. Despite this setback, it took 6 long years to repay his debts to his increasingly impatient mafia-connected bookmaker. The colossal loss served as a wake-up call, prompting him to reconsider the risks he took. He significantly scaled back the amounts he wagered, finding solace in returning home with losses limited to a few $100s. Though he didn't completely sever ties with his gambling inclinations, he adopted a more restrained approach, showcasing a far cry from the high-rolling gambler of his past. His perspective on gambling, particularly off-track betting, took an interesting turn during a visit to New York, where he humorously remarked on its demographic nature. This journey wasn't just about wins and losses, but also a battle against personal vices. A health scare in 1966 prompted him to quit smoking, adopt a more active lifestyle, and transform into a moderate gambler. George Raft. He came into the world in the vibrant neighborhood of Hell's Kitchen, New York City, surrounded by the bustling energy of urban life. Born to parents of German descent, his mother Eva had immigrated from Germany, while his father, Conrad Raft, was born in Massachusetts to German immigrant parents. The union between Eva and Conrad was solemnized on November 17, 1895 in Manhattan, laying the foundation for Raft's upbringing in the city that never sleeps. Raft's familial ties extended beyond his immediate household, including his older sister Ava, affectionately known as Katie, who arrived on April 18, 1896. The lineage of the Raft family bore the imprint of immigration and hard work, with Raft's grandfather having ventured from Germany to seek opportunities in America. His grandfather's endeavors ranged from working on merry-go-rounds to prospecting for gold, emblematic of the spirit of ambition and adventure that characterized the Raft family lineage. Raft's father, Conrad, also embraced a life of excitement and travel, initially finding employment in carnivals before eventually settling in New York City. This background of diverse experiences and cultural heritage undoubtedly played a role in shaping George Raft's future path in the world of entertainment. George's first encounter with London occurred in the summer of 1927, already earning the title of the world's fastest dancer. His performances, featuring jazz-age crazes like the Charleston and the Black Bottom, captivated audiences. A unique element to his act was the presence of a young performer named Snowball, adding an extra layer of intrigue to his shows. This dynamic duo spent a week as the novelty act at the Victoria Palace, sharing the stage with other eccentric acts before moving on to perform alongside popular British comedian Will Hay at the Alhambra. When George returned to British soil during World War II, his on-screen persona had solidified, becoming the quintessential sharp-suited movie hoodlum, known for his memorable deaths, often portrayed with a dramatic flair, showcasing his prowess as a dancer. Not known for his eloquence on screen, George Raft's star power emanated from an undeniable charisma and a unique brand of silent toughness. Despite lacking thespian finesse, he held his ground in the industry, navigating a career marked by studio clashes and questionable career choices. Behind the scenes, Raft's personal life unfolded like a subplot from one of his films. A notorious gambler, he frequented the company of known mobsters, becoming a familiar face in gambling establishments, finding thrill and risk in poker and dice games beyond the silver screen. Howard Hughes. Howard Robard Hughes, Jr. emerged into the world as the sole offspring of Aline Stone Gano and Howard R. Hughes, Sr., a prosperous inventor and entrepreneur hailing from Missouri. His ancestral lineage boasted a blend of English, Welsh, and traces of French Huguenot descent. Notably, Hughes traced his roots back to John Gano, the clergyman who purportedly administered the baptism of George Washington. This familial connection extended further as Hughes found himself a fifth cousin once removed to the pioneering aviators Orville and Wilbur Wright, creators of the world's first successful airplane, through his link to John Gano's sister, Susanna. Such familial ties not only underscored Hughes's illustrious lineage, but also hinted at the ingenuity and innovation that coursed through his bloodline. On Thanksgiving Day in 1966, the enigmatic Howard Hughes, one of the wealthiest men in the world, descended upon North Las Vegas in a private train, marking the beginning of a chapter that would reshape both his life and the trajectory of the city. Hughes, placed on a stretcher, was transported to the Desert Inn on the Strip, a place reminiscent of his residence in 1954. His friend Hank Greenspun had orchestrated the reservation of the hotel's top 2 floors for Hughes and his eclectic entourage, comprising Mormon assistants, lawyers, and Robert Maheu, his chief of security. For an astonishing 4 years, Hughes remained confined to the city, never venturing beyond the walls of his penthouse suite. However, at that time, Hughes wielded immense influence, becoming Nevada's largest private employer, casino owner, property owner, and mining claims owner. His impact reached beyond mere statistics. Hughes played a pivotal role in reshaping the image of Vegas in the eyes of the American public, paving the way for the city's transition into a corporate mainstream era. Hughes, born in 1905 in Houston, Texas, into a family that amassed extraordinary wealth through the invention of a revolutionary drill bit by his father, Howard Hughes Sr., orphaned at 18, Hughes swiftly transformed into a millionaire, seizing control of the family company and becoming a reclusive figure known for his eccentricities. His 4-year stay in Vegas defined the latter part of his life and left an indelible mark on the landscape of Las Vegas, setting the stage for its evolution into a modern metropolis. By the time Hughes arrived in Vegas in 1966, he had already spent 8 years in isolation, grappling with narcotics addiction and battling personal demons that drove him to notorious seclusion. Public glimpses of Hughes were rare, with available photos depicting an emaciated figure with long hair and uncut fingernails. Despite his aversion to germs, Hughes resisted attempts by the Desert Inn's housekeepers to clean his room, conducting negotiations and business dealings in seclusion. In 1967, confronted by Mo Dalitz, the co-owner of the Desert Inn, urging him to vacate the premises, Hughes chose an unconventional route. He bought the entire Desert Inn. This transaction involved a staggering amount of cash and loans, yet Hughes refused to make a public appearance to apply for a gaming license. Nevada Governor Paul Laxalt intervened on Hughes's behalf, convincing state officials that Hughes's wealth, fame, and reputation would benefit Nevada. In response, the Nevada legislature passed the Corporate Gaming Act, allowing corporations backed by influential figures like Hughes to own casinos without undergoing rigorous financial background checks. Hughes's purchase of the Desert Inn not only solidified his presence in Las Vegas, but also laid the foundation for a new era in the city's history and his career in the gambling industry. James Cagney, acting and horse racing. James Francis Jimmy Cagney, Jr. was born on July 17, 1899, amidst the bustling streets of the Lower East Side of Manhattan, New York City. The exact location of his birth remains a point of contention among biographers, with some asserting it occurred on the corner of Avenue D and 8th Street, while others cite a top-floor apartment at 391 East 8th Street, the address recorded on his birth certificate. His father, James Francis Cagney Sr., hailed from Irish heritage and pursued various professions, including bartending and amateur boxing, at the time of his son's arrival. Although officially listed as a telegraphist on Cagney's birth certificate, his father's dynamic career path underscores the industrious spirit that characterized the family. Cagney's mother, Carolyn Elizabeth, brought her diverse heritage to the family lineage. Her father, a Norwegian ship captain, and her Irish mother contributed to the rich tapestry of cultures woven into Cagney's ancestry, reflecting the diverse melting pot of New York City in which he was raised. Now, James Cagney Jr., better known as Jimmy Cagney, a name synonymous with Hollywood charisma and unparalleled talent, left an indelible mark on the entertainment industry. Cagney's journey unfolded as a trailblazer, showcasing his multifaceted skills as an actor, dancer, and film director. His performances were a masterclass in energetic dynamism, characterized by a distinctive vocal style and deadpan comic timing that set him apart in the golden era of Hollywood. His contributions to the cinematic world earned him acclaim and major awards, establishing him as a true icon of the silver screen. Cagney harbored a passion that galloped alongside his illustrious acting career, a fervent interest in horse racing. Alongside his brother William "Bill" Cagney, he ventured into thoroughbred horse breeding and racing, creating the renowned Cagney Brothers stable. Their involvement in horse racing was not just a pastime, but a serious endeavor that saw them own and race several horses. One of the jewels in their racing crown was a horse named Gallant Fox. In 1930, Gallant Fox achieved the pinnacle of success by winning the coveted Triple Crown, solidifying his place in history as one of the most celebrated racehorses of all time. This triumph not only added luster to Cagney's racing pursuits, but also showcased his passion for the equestrian world. As the curtain fell on his acting and dancing career, Cagney embraced a quieter life, retiring in 1961. He rededicated his focus to his 800-acre farm in Dutchess County, New York, where he sought solace and immersed himself in various leisure activities, from reading and playing tennis to swimming, and even trying his hand at poetry. Despite finding joy in these simple pleasures of life, the allure of the silver screen beckoned Cagney out of retirement 2 decades later. In 1981, he returned to cinema with a role in Milo Forman's film adaptation of El Doctoro's Ragtime, marking a triumphant comeback alongside his old friend Pat O'Brien. This resurgence was met with recognition as he was honored with the Kennedy Center Honors in 1980. Despite his remarkable return, the final chapter of Cagney's life unfolded on Easter Sunday in 1986 as he passed away at the age of 86. His enduring legacy transcends the Hollywood spotlight, echoing through the hoofbeats of the racehorses he loved and the timeless performances that continue to captivate audiences. Chico Marx, Women and Gambling. Marx entered the world on March 22, 1887, in the vibrant borough of Manhattan, New York City. His parents, Sam Marx, affectionately known as Frenchie, and his wife, Minnie Schoenberg Marx, nurtured his early years. Minnie hailed from a family with ties to the entertainment world. Her brother was none other than the vaudeville comedian Al Sheehan, renowned as one half of the duo Gallagher and Sheehan. The Marx family roots were deeply embedded in their Franco-German Jewish heritage. Sam Marx, a skilled tailor, hailed from Alsace, while Minnie originated from East Frisia in Germany. Their diverse cultural backgrounds undoubtedly influenced the rich tapestry of experiences that shaped Marx's upbringing and later career. However, fame seemed to bring out the worst in him as he became erratic and an unrepentant womanizer. In addition to his reputation as a compulsive womanizer, Chico Marx harbored a lifelong passion for gambling that bordered on obsession. His favorite vices included card games, horse racing, dog racing, and various forms of sports betting, which, by his own admission, cost him millions of dollars. When queried about his gambling losses in the late 1930s, Chico wryly remarked, "Find out how much money Harpo's got, that's how much I've lost." Gummo Marx, reflecting on Chico's lifestyle years after his passing, remarked that Chico's preferred company consisted of actors and producers who shared his penchant for gambling, as well as women of questionable virtue. In jest, George Jessel said, "Chico didn't button his fly until he was 70, alluding to Chico's well-known promiscuity. Chico's insatiable gambling addiction compelled him to prolong his career in show business long after his brothers had retired comfortably on their Hollywood earnings. By the early 1940s, he found himself performing in the same humble theaters where he had launched his career 3 decades prior. The Marx Brothers' penultimate film, A Night in Casablanca, 1946, was largely undertaken for Chico's financial benefit, as he had filed for bankruptcy a few years earlier. Recognizing the severity of Chico's gambling problem, his brothers assumed control over his finances, instituting an allowance system to curtail his reckless betting. This financial intervention remained in place until his passing. Chico's final public appearance occurred in 1960 on the television show Championship Bridge, where he participated in a game of cards. Unfortunately, he and his partner ended up on the losing side, a fitting conclusion to a life marked by both triumphs and losses at the gaming table.